First off, we know that half of the pregnancies in the United States are unplanned, and that affects women in poverty at a far higher rate than women who are not in poverty. In fact, women below the poverty line are 7 times more likely to experience an unplanned pregnancy than women who are at 2 times the poverty level. We know that 43% of all unplanned pregnancies will end in abortion. Of the women who choose to have the child, 68% of those will be paid for by Medicaid. You know, I talked on the other bill about generational poverty and how that's the greatest fear I have for the future of Wisconsin. And along with substance abuse, unplanned pregnancy is the #1 contributor to generational poverty. It disrupts women's career and educational goals, and usually they will never catch up again. You know, when I brought this bill forward 2 sessions ago, and we have passed it twice now in this House, and hopefully this time we get it through the Senate, there were 12 states at that time that had legalized pharmacy-prescribed birth control. That number is now up to 28, and there's 6 more that are considering it now. It's not a Democratic or Republican issue. The last 2 states that passed legislation similar to this were Connecticut and Indiana. When birth control came out in the 1960s, early 1960s, so a long time ago, the hormone levels were far higher than they are today, and it was prescription for a reason. You know, it did have some bad side effects when it was that high, and you know, doctors didn't know what to expect. So there was a good reason. But nowadays, the dosage is so much lower that the side effects are minimal. I mean, like any drug, there are some side effects. But, you know, there are precautions in this bill that will prevent those from really being a problem. You know, we have heard from some others that, you know, it's dangerous. We have to have the women go to the birth to see their doctor. I can tell you we can trust people like that who are morally opposed to birth control, or we can trust the medical community. Virtually every medical organization thinks that birth control should be over-the-counter, not even pharmacy prescribed. That includes the AMA, the Wisconsin Medical Society, American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, American Academy of Family Physicians, the Wisconsin Nursing Association, the Pharmacy Society of Wisconsin. So yeah, you can find individual physicians and pharmacists who are opposed to this, but overwhelmingly, they will tell you that modern birth control is no more dangerous than ibuprofen. The way that this bill will work is when a woman goes to a pharmacist, she will fill out a questionnaire. If there are any red flags on that, they send them to their doctor. They'll also do a blood pressure screening, which, because blood clots are the primary bad side effect from birth control, if that shows a problem, they also go to the physician. After it's prescribed, they will forward their records onto their family physician. So another question, I guess, that came up was about the efficacy of birth control, that we have people that will say that if we make birth control more accessible, you know, women are going to go crazy, it's a false sense of security, and we're going to have more unplanned pregnancies. There is absolutely zero evidence of that happening. And if you look at the states that have done this, and Oregon was the first one that did it, so we have the best records from there. This bill will lower unplanned pregnancies, and it will decrease abortions. Anyway, so 90% of American women at one time or another take hormonal birth control. And I think the important message here is that, you know, we can't allow a very small minority impose their moral objections onto the rest of us, using our government to do that. You know, I will say that being a parent has brought me the greatest joy of my life. I mean, I would take a bullet for my kids without giving it a second thought. It just changes your life completely and your perspective on everything. But parenthood's not something that should be entered into lightly. You know, we should not be. Our law currently is causing women to enter into it when they're not financially or emotionally prepared to be a parent. So, you know, it's time that we fix this. Please pass this bill. Thank you.